You know, I have on my playlist a lot of Rob Zombie. I'm not going to lie to you. I got a lot of Zombie on my playlists. I will also admit I'm not the biggest fan of him as a director. Like, don't get me wrong, like some of his stuff like House of a Thousand Corpses, they have their appeal. They absolutely do. But in general, you know, I'm not a big Rob Zombie fan as a director. That's fine. That doesn't mean he can't put out something that I really like. I was really intrigued when they announced that he was doing the Munsters. That was very intriguing to me because I was like, that's him kind of stretching himself. That's him doing something he's not comfortable with. And I like that and I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Now, when they dropped the first little mini tease for it a while ago, I'm like, okay, it's not really for me, but it seems like they're really leaning into the nostalgia of what the original was. And okay, that can be interesting. Well, today they dropped the full trailer. And I don't think it's hyperbole for me to say that I don't know that any trailer in history put out by a major studio has ever been as bad. This is the worst trailer by a major studio I have ever seen. And Ray thinks it's the greatest thing ever. you can already hear him giggling in the background. Ray's just keeping his head down. I watched this and I literally had to get on Twitter. I'm like, okay, so the Munsters trailer, seriously, are we being trolled? Like, is this a joke? It looks like it was shot on an iPhone X with not even the iPhone 13, the iPhone X with built-in microphone because the audio in this is awful.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It feels like a high school drama project that's going to fail. Like it's so all I don't know. My one thought is like maybe this whole trailer is a big misdirect. And if it is, it's going to be one of the most genius marketing things I've ever seen.
Oh, I hope we get in there and it's just like terrifying and gory.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something. That would be so good, right?
Just children crying in the theater.
I will call it the most brilliant marketing thing ever.
The first part reminded me of a commercial, like the Count Chocula commercial, like they're introducing cereal. Or maybe like an ice skating event, or like Munsters on Ice. That's what it looked like.
Yeah,
coming to Universal.
That's right. You said that. You said that when you were watching. It's like, is this Munsters on Ice? And I was like, oh my, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It made me so nostalgic, though. Like in that way where it looked like a cereal commercial from the 90s.
Well, it's funny because these guys watched it just before the show started because it just came out this morning, and it ended. And Amy was like, is it weird that I'm really interested in seeing this?
Really excited.
Well, let's go over to that.
Yeah.
Amy, you saw it. What did you think of it?
It looked god awful, and I will be first in line with my ticket. It had big, like, Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas energy.
Oh my God, it totally did.
Like, it did. It looked like a movie my parents would still be mad that I dragged them to see in, like, the late 90s. It looked so cheesy and bad and... yeah, just low budget. And like, I wanted to say the jokes didn't land, but I was like, I don't feel like there were jokes.
I was like, the trailer played in here. I didn't hear one laugh out of anybody in the room.
It was just a general energy of what can only be described as zaniness.
We were holding back our tears, Joan.
Yeah.
It was like that meme of Winona where like there's math above her head, right? At the back of words. That's how it felt. It was
just
being
processing, like, when does the real trailer start?
Yeah.
But for all that, I kind of want to see it. I'm kind of fascinated by how bad it looks. Like, rarely does an actual, like, major motion picture release look this just balls to the wall terrible. And I love it.
Chris, you had a chance to see this? Mm-hmm. And you were pointing out, it's not all that low budget. Like, I looked at it, I thought, this is a $1 to $2 million SAG minimum film, but it's like a $30 to $40 million.
$30 to $40 million film. It is Rob Zombie's biggest budget he has ever had. For why?
Yeah,
where did the money go? Is it all just going to Rob and his wife? And they're like, we're going to buy a house in the Poconos. Like, what is happening? I don't understand it. It is so perfectly low budget, though, where it's just like, it looks like a really long TikTok that like musical theater kids did. Like you pointed out when we were watching
long
it.
TikTok.
Like it's so weird looking. And you guys know that I hate horror. I would love if this was a bait and switch. I would be so much happier if I went to this movie and it was just pure eye violence and heads being ripped off. I'd be like, well, Rob, you got me. You did it. Well done. This looks like trash. And to no one's surprise.
It's his swan song.
If this is his swan song, that's sad.
You know what?
And it's day and date. So like, we shouldn't be that surprised though that it looks like this.
I'm starting to think now it's on purpose. I hope to think it was on purpose, purposely bad. He did it on purpose.
I honestly
Anyways,
think so
I was looking at it is only on digital or video on demand. This is not getting a theater release.
Isn't it Peacock?
It's Universal 1440. It's not even Universal Pictures. Or are they the same thing?
I think that's one of their indie arms.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong about
I
that.
thought it was Peacock.
Where
and
do I
was like,
start my
oh, man.
petition to
Peacock
get
is
it
owned
in
by
theaters?
Universal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
love that they just keep making all the bad decisions. It makes me so happy.
And no, it's funny because Peacock has been doing some really good stuff lately, but
It's the stuff that they do release though day and date, which there's a reason why they do it. But like Firestarter and this and Marry Me and stuff like that, where you're like, okay, well,
the second Halloween
They're
movie.
just getting their
but
feet on the ground too. I think Peacock was the last one to actually establish itself as one of the streaming. I think it was one of the last
them
ones,
or
right?
Paramount Plus. I mean, to
Oh,
really get their feet planted.
Yeah,
So,
Paramount Plus was.
but
there too.
this, if they thought this is what's going to create a big subscriber rush,
ooh,
I think they made a mistake. I think they made an oopsie. Anyway, guys, questions for you. Did you have a chance to see the Munster? Maybe you thought it was brilliant. Maybe to you, the nostalgia of it was magical and it just whisked you away and immersed you in it. If it did, awesome. I thought it was terrible. But whatever you guys think about it, let us know. Jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there.
From cringing at the pump to getting an eye-popping check at your favorite restaurant, inflation is hitting us all where it hurts. And it really hurts. That's why you should start using Upside. Upside is an incredible app for anyone who buys gas, groceries, or dines out. With every purchase, you'll earn cash back thanks to Upside. Every time you leave the house, you can use Upside. The app is incredibly easy to use. It isn't too good to be true. You can use it yourself and see that it works. Upside is a no-brainer. What do you plan to do with all your cash back? To get started, download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play. Use our promo code CAMPEA and get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. Next, claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. Check in at the business, pay as usual with a credit card or debit card, and get paid. In comparison to credit card rewards or loyalty programs, you can earn 3 times more cash back with Upside. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Upside users are earning more than $1 million every week. That's probably why they have a 4.8 star rating on the App Store. Download the free Upside app and use promo code CAMPEA to get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more using the promo code CAMPEA.